right, welcome to another deep dive. And today we're tackling something, well, honestly, a lot of us might find kind of uncomfortable. Power dynamics in organizations.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it feels like office politics is a dirty word.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I told you that understanding, really getting these dynamics could be the key to achieving your goals, right? Like that's what we're going to deep dive into today, guided by this Harvard Business Review article called Power Play.
Okay.
And they use this fantastic example of Dr. Laura Esserman. She completely changed how breast cancer care was done at UCSF
Wow.
while navigating some serious pushback.
It's interesting you say that because we tend to shy away from that idea, office politics.
Yeah.
But Esserman's story and the research in this article, they really challenge that negative perception.
Right.
Like there's studies by McClelland and Burnham, I think it was. They found that managers who actively, are trying to influence things, make things happen.
Yeah.
Those were the most effective leaders.
So it's not just being bossy. There's a real skill to it, huh?
Exactly.
There's a real skill to wielding influence effectively.
Yeah.
The article mentions this thing, the political skill inventory. I think it was developed by Ferris, and it actually predicts leadership success. So maybe we shouldn't shy away from this,
Yeah.
Maybe we should try and learn to use it, for good.
Exactly. And think about it this way. We all have goals, right? Personal, professional.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding, like really understanding how power works can help us reach those goals, not through like manipulation or anything,
Right.
but by effectively navigating the system, right?
Yeah.
The article is a great example. Zia Yusuf, he built an amazing career at SAP, which is huge EE in software.
Yeah.
And he didn't come from a typical tech background. He excelled, though, because he mastered what he called, quote, organizational dynamics.
Okay, so what does that even mean, though, mastering organizational dynamics?
Yeah.
Is it all like knowing the gossip and who to, like, butter up?
Oh, no, it's way more nuanced than that.
Okay.
It's understanding these unspoken rules. You got to recognize the real decision makers, the people who actually make things happen and build those strategic relationships. It's knowing who to go to for what and how to like really effectively advocate for your ideas. Think of it like a map.
Okay.
A map of your organization's power structure. You got to know how to navigate that map.
I like that, the map analogy.
Yeah.
So if we're trying to be practical here, what actually gives someone power in an organization? Is it just like the corner office and the big budget?
Well, the article had this really interesting idea. They called it the new golden rule.
Go.
And it basically says whoever controls resources, they've got the power.
All right, but it's got to be more than just money, though, right?
Oh, for sure. Sure. It's not just money. It's information, right? It's those valuable connections. It's even access, to those key decision makers.
Okay, so it's like who you know, what you know, and what you can offer.
Right.
Okay. So how do you even build that kind of influence, especially if you're not, like, starting at the top?
Well, that's where this article gets really interesting. They give this whole playbook of tactics that powerful people use to get what they want.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Like take Klaus Schwab, for instance. He was a Swiss professor, created the World Economic Forum.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And he did it by recognizing that there's huge GE value in just bringing global leaders together. That gave him influence on a global scale.
So you might not be starting a global forum, right?
Right.
But think about the people that you bring together. Are you making those valuable connections?
Yeah.
The ones that could become a source of power.
That's a good point.
Okay, I'm ready for more of these power plays. What else is in this article?
Well, some of them are a little, strategic. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Like the idea of rewarding your allies and, making things a little less comfortable for those who get in your way. The article tells this anecdote about John Jacobs. He was a journalist. He covered Willie Brown, a really powerful California politician.
Okay.
And when he wrote positive articles, he'd get gifts, favors, you name it.
Yeah.
But negative articles, they threatened his access.
Wow.
It shows how even subtle actions can have a huge influence.
That's a great example, right? Makes you think even small stuff can have big consequences in this power dynamic. It's almost like a chess game,
Yeah.
Got to think a few moves ahead.
You got it. The article also talks about working on like multiple fronts at the same time. They use the story of Lalit Modi.
Okay.
He created the Indian Premier Leagues, this hugely successful cricket league.
Okay.
And he faced massive resistance. But he was methodical about it, built this web of support. He secured sponsorships, built alliances, and he just chipped away at that opposition until they were, well, overwhelmed.
So that takes serious planning A&D persistence, huh?
It does.
It's like he shifted the whole game board in his favor, one step at a time. Speaking of bold moves,
Yeah.
the article talks about making the first move. That can be key to getting an advantage.
Oh, absolutely. Like Modi actually pulled off this surprise takeover
Oh, wow.
of the BCCI, the Indian Cricket Board, caught his opponents completely off guard,
Yeah.
and he just shifted the balance of power.
Yeah.
It shows how taking initiative can disrupt the power dynamics, like, completely.
He flipped the script.
He did.
So sometimes it's not even playing the game, it's changing the rules.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also knowing when to use which tactic.
Right.
There's also co-opting your opposition. It sounds kind of counterintuitive, but can be crazy effective.
Oh, like bringing your critics inside?
Yeah, yeah.
So they're part of the solution.
Exactly. Like the University of Illinois, they had these demands for pay equity, right?
Yeah.
They didn't fight them. They made a committee, gave it a budget. The activists were part of the process, and the problem just kind of solved itself. Brilliant. Right?
Nice. That's amazing. They turned conflict into collaboration. So we've got building alliances, making those strategic moves, even co-opting the opponents. But what about when you just need someone, like, out of the picture?
Well, that's when graceful removal comes in.
Okay.
The article talks about letting rivals save face,
Yeah.
even helping them find new opportunities.
So instead of this messy public thing, you find them a better gig somewhere else.
It can be. Think about Willie Brown again. He'd help rivals get elected to higher offices strategically.
Oh, wow.
So he outmaneuvered them by promoting them. It's about realizing sometimes the best way to win is to make your opponent think they won too.
Okay, that is smart. So we've got building alliances, making bold moves, co-opting graceful removal. You need to be a master strategist for this.
Yeah.
But I imagine all this, like, maneuvering, it can be distracting, right? You spend all your time playing the game, you never get anything done.
That's a really good point, and the article talks about that. They say avoid unnecessary conflicts.
Okay.
Focus on that critical path to your goals.
So, choose your battles.
Yes. Laura Esserman, she was incredibly successful, but she messed up once. She testified against her own administration on something that wasn't even central to her goals.
Whoa.
Cost or political capital didn't get her main agenda anywhere.
So it's about not getting caught in every little fight.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on the prize.
Exactly. And the article brings up Zia Yusuf again, who is known for strategically picking when to push, when to hold back, right?
Yeah.
He knew that sometimes saving your influence for the really important battles
Yeah.
is better than winning every little skirmish.
So it's like a balancing act.
It is.
Know when to fight, when to compromise, when to wait for a better time.
Precisely. And sometimes you just got to be persistent, like water wearing away a rock,
Keep at it, even if you don't win right away.
Yeah. But do it intelligently. Laura Esserman's a great example. Relentless determination.
I love that the article says that Richard Blum, I think he was, very influential guy himself, jokingly said that when Esserman wants something, resistance is futile. Like, it's best to just say, yes, dear, and get out of the way.
Yeah. It speaks to her commitment to her vision.
It really does?
But it also shows that even with persistence, you got to have focused strategy.
Okay, I think we've covered a lot here, but I want to make sure we're, like, connecting this to our listener, right?
Yeah.
Why should they care about all this power play stuff? They're probably not trying to lead a revolution in healthcare or build a cricket league.
That's such a crucial point, because even if you don't want to be CEO or, head up some huge initiative, understanding this stuff can help you navigate your own career, advocate for your ideas, get things done, be effective.
So it's not about being like a power-hungry, climber or whatever.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the dynamics and using them, well, ethically, to reach your goals, whatever those are. It's like a secret code to unlocking your potential anywhere.
I like that, a secret code. Because once you understand the rules, you can play strategically and ethically to get what you want.
Or take a quick break.
Pause, we were talking about some of those strategic tactics, even some assertive ones.
Yeah.
But the article, it doesn't just focus on those, It stresses relationships too.
Okay.
Even with people, well, maybe you don't always see eye to eye with at first.
So it's not all about outmaneuvering and being strategic. There's that human element.
Big time.
Which, yeah, I can see how that's important if you want lasting influence.
Absolutely. The article tells this story about Gary Loveman. He ended up becoming CEO of Harrah's Casinos.
Okay, yeah.
When he first joined, there was a lot of internal pushback, especially from the CFO.
Oh, interesting.
But Loveman, he was smart. He realized how important that relationship was. So he made it a priority to connect with the CFO, kept him in the loop, involved him in decisions.
So it wasn't about like overpowering the CFO or pushing him aside.
No.
It was about bringing him in.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is Loveman actually said it straight up. Your feelings, your personal feelings, shouldn't matter. If the relationship's key to your success, you make it work.
It's a very like pragmatic approach.
It is.
Clearly paid off for him. He became CEO, and the company did great under his leadership.
It shows how important emotional intelligence is to using power well. It's not just about force, it's understanding people, building trust, navigating all that, tricky social stuff.
It's funny, when I think of people I've seen do really well in organizations, they're often the ones who just connect well with others.
Yeah.
Even the tough ones, like they can find that common ground, build bridges where others see walls.
That's a great point. And that actually ties into another tactic the article mentions. Framing your goals, but framing them within a bigger, more compelling vision. It's way easier to get people on board when you can tie what you want to something, well, bigger than just you.
So instead of just, I want this, it's this will help the team, the organization.
Right. Or even like a whole cause you're passionate about.
Okay, yeah.
Laura Esserman, she framed her work as improving breast cancer care. Hard to argue with that, right?
Right.
Rudy Crew, he headed several big school districts. His focus was always on underserved kids, making their lives better. And even Gary Loveman, the casino guy, he framed things as serving shareholder interests.
So you're giving people a reason to support you that they can get behind.
It's all about common ground, that shared purpose that people connect with.
Makes them want to support your agenda, basically.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got the relationship stuff, framing your vision. Any other like gems in this power playbook?
Let's see. Remember how we were talking about persistence? Well, the article also says don't fight every single battle. Be focused, make strategic decisions.
So sometimes save your energy and your, what was it, political capital?
Exactly.
Yeah.
For the things that really matter.
Makes sense. And I guess situations change, right? What seems impossible now, maybe it's doable later.
That's right. Little patience, little persistence, and things can shift.
So pick your battles wisely, big picture in mind, and don't be afraid to play the long game.
That's it. And you got to remember, power dynamics are fluid. Opportunities pop up when you least expect them. Sometimes being strategic means stepping back before. That can set you up for success down the line.
This episode's been packed, huh?
It has.
We talked about the alliances, the moves, even getting rid of rivals, but nicely. Then the relationship stuff, framing your goals, knowing when to push, when to hold back.
We really covered a lot, yeah.
Before we wrap this whole power play deep dive up, I'm curious, what's your big takeaway? What do you want our listener to walk away with today?
It'd be easy to come out of this thinking, oh, it's all schemes and climbing the ladder, but that's really not it.
No, not at all.
I think the real thing here is understanding this stuff. It empowers you. It gives you the tools, the knowledge to handle any organization, whether you're the boss or just trying to get your ideas out there.
It's not about being some, power-hungry person.
Right.
It's using this knowledge well, ethically.
Exactly. It's not power just for the sake of it. It's using your influence to get stuff done for your team, your company, even a cause you care about.
It's like knowing the game, playing it smart, but never forgetting your own values, right? The impact you want to make. It's almost choosing to be the main character in your career, not just along for the ride.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because you do have a choice. Get swept along or understand how it works and use it to get where you want to go.
Okay, so listeners have a lot to think about. We did the tactics, the strategies, the whole ethics thing. But as we wrap up, gotta leave everyone with a challenge. What's one thing, small thing you can do this week to be more, intentional about your influence?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Maybe it's reaching out to someone you admire at work, learning from them.
Yeah.
Or maybe you sit down and actually map out the power dynamics, on your team, in your department, just to see how it works.
Okay.
Or even simpler, speak up at your next meeting. Share that idea you've been holding on to.
I love those. Little things done consistently. They build up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't forget, power isn't just about getting to the top. It's about empowering others too.
That's a good point.
Maybe this week you use what you know to help a coworker, get their goals met or someone who deserves more credit. You stand up for them.
So it's about using what you understand about the system, but to make good changes. For you and everyone else.
And who knows, maybe this deep dive got an idea going, a new way of looking at things that'll lead you somewhere amazing.
There you go. So go out there, be intentional, make it happen.
Thanks for joining us for this Power Play Deep Dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep making that difference.